Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds and another installment of the long-forgotten Budget Bombs.
This time, $1 or less spot removal.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries. I'm your host, Joe Cherries. I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
Oh my, got yourself.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Have you not heard of us before? Hold on. Give us a minute. Maybe go in the Discord. It's a welcoming community where you can play Commander. Or maybe support us on Patreon. Or just watch the rest of this video and then give us a chance.
Yes. So, what we're doing today, we're doing Budget Bombs.
Budget Bombs!
You're not supposed to yell. People have been...
Yeah, it's our most requested... It's both our most requested series and our most requested improvement. Please stop yelling budget bombs. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll stop yelling budget bombs. So what that means is we're talking about cards that are only $1 exactly or below. So we're talking about spot removal today. Cards that target to remove something from the battlefield. Board wipes, that'll be for another day.
Yes, we found there's actually enough, I think, to just make a full-blown episode for it. So we'll do that later. But these ones, some of them are great when I'm restricted on a budget, and then some of them are just great and happen to be budget.
Yes, there's other budget ones that we're not going over every single budget one that you can play, but there are other good ones besides these, but these are the cream of the crop for us.
Yes. So first one, DSpark. It's black-white for an instant, exile a permanent with mana cost 4 or greater.
If you don't know, EDH has a lot of high CMC things that you're going to be exiling. In fact, most things that you're going to want to get rid of are going to cost 4 or more. There's heuristic studies and cards like that you're going to be like, oh, I can't hit that. I wish I could. But a majority of the stuff you're going to want to hit is going to cost more than 4 mana.
Yeah, this was one of the cards that put like the nail in the coffin for Utter End for me. Like, I'm just never going near that card. It's not even budget. It's like $1.50 or something. I don't even think it's worse than like Anguish of Making and DSpark. So if you either need a second Utter End effect or you just want to play budget, DSpark is like the best black-white instant. There's a couple of them.
You have to be on a strange budget to like want the $2 card, but not just go to the $5 card. That's a strange budget spot to be.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you want to put all your money in the cool thing you're doing and then just play whatever removal is cheapest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could be a thing. What's next? It's a
next,
couple.
It's these ones go together. They're all removal for artifacts / enchantments. First one, Caustic Caterpillar. It's a 1 mana 1/1. Pay 1 of the green, sacrifice to destroy target artifact or enchantment. This puts it into your graveyard. Super strong for graveyard decks. Much like Quasali Pridemage, which is a green and a white for a 2/2, has Exalted. You pay 1 and sacrifice it to destroy an artifact or enchantment. These are both really good for graveyard decks.
Yeah, Quasali Pridemage, a little more specific. You got to be in green-white. Because Caustic Caterpillar just says be in green. Before the printing of one of the next ones on here, I think this was like one of the best ways to destroy artifacts and enchantments on a creature. Like there's Reclamation Sage, spoiler alert, also on here later. But then the next for me is like Caustic Caterpillar. It gets around the like can't do ETBs or creatures don't do this. It's like, well, I'm just gonna do your thing right now.
Yeah, Caustic Caterpillar is 45 cents. Quasali Pridemage, pronounced it right the first time and there was no cut. Shut up. 95 cents.
Yeah, that one's probably, I think that's actually the most expensive one on here is 95 cents. Next, we'll move on to Masked Vandal and Reclamation Sage. Masked Vandal is 1 and a green for a 1/3 changeling, which is pretty sweet. When it enters, you can exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment your opponent's control. Then Rec Sage is just 2 and a green, 2/1, enters the battlefield, blow up an artifact or enchantment. Masked Vandal, 23 cents, just got printed. And Reclamation Sage, 36 cents, gets printed like every other Tuesday.
Yeah, as long as you can reliably have a creature in your graveyard, Masked Vandal is great. Anything where you're milling yourself and you want to make sure you're going to reliably have that because this card is obviously a 1/3 for 2 is awful.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're going to have creatures in your graveyard. That's like the restriction with this card. Reclamation Sage, that's the one you just throw in anywhere. One, it's an elf.
Right.
So elf, anything that cares about elves loves this. And on top of that, there's no restriction. It just comes out and does it.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to each one. Masked Vandal has tribal synergies and the effect is better, but the cost is higher. But the card's cheaper. It's like and it is also an elf.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I think the only thing Masked Vandal doesn't have going for it is that you do want to make sure there can always be a creature in your graveyard playing maybe some sort of green aristocrat-y type style where you're constantly sacrificing things. Then this card's really, 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 really good.
Yeah, I mean, I've Windmill Slammed a Rec Sage to blow up a Necropotence or a Ristic Study on like turn 3 or 4. Can't really do that with Mass Vandal, but anytime after turn 5, it's probably just on for you. So what's next?
Next is Nature's Claim. 1 mana, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Its controller gains 4 life. Honestly, this is just one of the best removal spells in EDH. Especially for artifacts and enchantments, it might be the best spot removal spell. Simply put, it's 1 mana to destroy any artifact, any enchantment, no restrictions, and the 4 life gained is almost negligible.
Could be 8 life, and I'd still be saying this is one of the best. Like, just double it, it doesn't matter. This, even in like the high power creature decks, I think you want 1 Nature's Claim as sort of a catch-all. Like, if you try to stop my creatures, I have a card I can tutor for or find that still blows up the humility or the card that's stopping something with a static effect.
Yep, I agree with that completely. Nature's Claim. I mean, we've talked about this card a lot. It's just insane. The card
it's a staple.
Yes, it is a staple of EDH. Almost one where it's like you're playing green, you're playing this card.
Yeah, I really can't stress enough. Nature's Claim over like Croson Grip and all that stuff. Nature's Claim is the best effect that's ever been put on that. Like instant speed naturalize.
If you're on a super budget, super duper budget, I'm talking like you can't spend more than like 5 to 7 cents a card. Return to Nature.
Oh, the card, that just gets printed like every 12 seconds. Yeah, they're actually reprinting it right now in its own set. This is the only card.
Yeah, that is, if you're on a super budget, Return to Nature, that's totally functional too.
I mean, yeah, naturalize on a super huge budget, just straight up naturalize, isn't that much worse than Nature's Claim. It's just you really want the 1 mana. Might as well play the strictly better card, right? Number 7, not that they're in any particular order. This is just the 7th one, is Crush Contraband at 23 cents. It's 3 and white for an instant. You can exile an artifact and or an enchantment.
These are exiles. When you care about exile, that's where this one really comes in. If you're in a high god meta, gods run around everywhere in EDH. They're some of the most beloved commanders. I see them all the time. Xenagos. All the time. I actually just played against Xenagos literally today.
Yeah, I think this kind of edges out Return to Dust as like I like it better. I think it's a better card. Instant speed, easier to cast. Return to Dust is really, it's a sorcery when it does the thing you want it to do.
Yeah.
This is just always a 2-for-1. You're going to pick up targets for sure.
Yeah, this card's extremely good. The 2-for-1 that you get from it is what makes it so strong. But again, I think the exile is why this card is playable. I don't think this card's very good with destroys.
I mean, don't forget instant speed. That's very valuable.
Yeah, I'm saying like I think if you remove the fact that this card exiles and make it destroy, I don't want to play this card often.
There's a couple factors that push it right over the edge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is number 8?
It's Bounty Agent. 1 in the white for a 2/2. It has vigilance. Destroy target legendary permanent if it's an artifact, creature, or enchantment.
This little guy does work for 15 cents. It's a 2/2. You can play it ASAP. Don't have to worry about having targets or not. It's a body. It's going to trigger anything that says cast creature or whatever creature enters. Mentor the Meek. You're like Oketras that just say, all right, you get a 4/4. And then you'll find a target. Turns out everyone's playing a legendary creature.
Yeah, in their command zone, there's legendary creatures all over the place, and that's what really makes this one playable. It's Balls the Citadel, Sword of the Animist. It even hits like before Cradle of the Sun, before it flips. What's that called?
Oh, yeah, Itlimoc.
Yeah, Growing Rights of Itlimoc. Get that out the field before it turns into a Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah, there's some random ones like you can snipe in Alheimer Arts Archive, but it also just targets any commander, and it's just a creature with, poopy stats, but it just comes down and does creature things.
Actually, it doesn't hit Planeswalker commanders.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Does not hit Lord Windgrace. You just attack it, then you hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it that way.
I was saving you from the comment section attack.
Yes, that's very thoughtful of you. Number 9, Fiend Hunter. 1 white for a 1/3, 25 cents. Enters the battlefield, exile another target creature. Separate paragraph, when it leaves the battlefield, you return it. Everybody knows by now, and if you don't, you're about to. You can play it, put the exile trigger on the stack, sack it, get the leaves trigger first. Now you exile a creature for free. Kind of like a sorcery speed exile target creature. It can also just take a commander out, and they're going to say, well, I don't want to put it under your Fiend Hunter, so I'll just put it in the command zone. And it's like you just killed it. It's also a creature, so it's easily findable and recurable.
Another thing about this is you don't even have to necessarily sack it. You can also flicker it. So you can go play it, target something, flicker it, target something else. So now the first thing's exile forever. The second thing is put under it.
And on the second thing, you can pick a commander.
Yes.
So that they're both just gone.
Yeah, exactly. This card's very strong. Again, fits in Aristocrats, Flicker decks, anything that could take advantage of the fact that this is an ETB and you get rid, and if you're able to make it leave the battlefield before that ETB resolves, that's where you want this card.
Yeah, still I want to keep in mind Oblivion Ring is like terrible. Even though it has the same 2 lines, it's just not a creature. It just pushes it way down, and Banisher Priest. not having the separate paragraphs really makes that way worse.
Yeah, hilarious to me. O-Ring unplayable in GH, but if you have a Gen deck, it's the one deck that can easily sacrifice it, take advantage of both sides of it. I love it in the Gen deck.
That's pretty goofy. All right, number 10 is Biforce. X and a red for a sorcery. Destroy X artifacts.
This is a card that I feel like, one, wouldn't be budget, and two, just would see a ton of play if not for the fact that Vandal was out there. You don't really have 2 slots for just destroying artifacts, so you usually only have 1. But if you're on a budget, this card's insanely strong. It is very, very good.
Yeah, better than Ancient Grudge, better than all of the other choices. This card can also be better than Vandal Blast. If there's 3 artifacts in play and you have to you want to destroy all 3, well, this is 4 mana. Well, Vandal Blast would be 5.
It definitely has more versatility than Vandal Blast. Obviously, Vandal Blast, anytime you're destroying greater than 4.
Yeah, more than 4.
It's better. It's the same at 4 and.
But Vandal Blast also better at 1.
Yeah, Vandal Blast also better at 1. It's strange. Yeah, there's this little like gap where.
We'll make a spreadsheet.
Yeah, where Biforce is better, but either way, Biforce very strong. Actually, just one of the best ways to destroy just artifacts.
Yeah, they're very close. This is one of the ways you could totally cheat that I think a lot of people don't even know. If you're trying to build a budget deck and you're like, oh, I need some of these staples. Like, no. Just every time on a budget, cut out Vandal Blast for Biforce, you'll barely even notice.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Next, we have Kenrith's Transformation. 1 in the green for an aura enchantment. Enchant a creature. Enchanted creature is a 3/3 elk with no abilities. When Kenrith's Transformation enters the battlefield, you draw a card.
None of the other abilities like this are even close to $1. There's the enchantment that makes it a land, Song of the Dryads, and then there's the Darksteel Mutation, which is a little bit above.
$2.
That's double the price we're looking for. I think this is just such a good effect for 40 cents. I mean, I've just kind of been liking it in my I have an enchantment deck. Just play it.
Yeah, and it's an Enchantress staple. I think it actually goes in like every one of those Enchantress decks that you're going to be playing. But again, on a budget, say you're like in a mono green deck, this is absolutely a way to answer some creatures that you might just struggle with. Green struggles to answer creatures besides Beast Within. You really got to fight and do stuff like that in green, and that can be rough when a creature is a 12/12.
Nice commander. Okay, now you're going to have to play a little mini game where you try to kill your own commander because it doesn't do anything, and nobody cares about a 3/3. I'll take 3 all day, and everyone else will too, to keep your commander basically out of the game.
Yeah, if you're not an aristocrat strategy, sacrificing your commander is not an easy thing to do.
And I just draw a card. I'm down no cards. It was only 2 mana. This card's really sweet. When you start like recurring it or try to like, you can reanimate it from the graveyard with a couple different effects or tutor for it because auras are kind of like extra tutorable. This just really is going to overperform.
Yeah, this card's great. Next, we have a Braid. 1 and a red for an instant. Choose 1. Destroy target artifact or deal 3 damage to target creature. This is a 1/1 for 2 mana at instant speed, but the versatility of hitting artifacts or small creatures is really what pushes one to playable. Obviously, we can get any sort of lightning bolt where you can just kill a creature. Those aren't very good. When you add the fact that you can hit artifacts with this, it really bumps it up.
Yeah, Shatter's bad, Lightning Bolt's bad. When you combine them, actually this card sees a bunch of play in a lot of different formats.
Yeah, actually it's a CDH staple, I believe.
Yeah, it just checks enough of the boxes, and the creatures are really small. So if you find that there's a lot of small utility creatures running around and you're looking for a budget removal spell, a Braid, Biforce, we're starting to like really round out a sweet, like red removal suite.
No, you know what? Today, we're talking about small creatures. Man, you know what? This is way off topic.
Tidbit for later.
Yeah, tidbit for later. I'll talk about that afterwards.
Stay tuned.
That was so far off topic. Next is Kabria Takedown. You read this one, BZ.
1 and a white for an instant. It deals X damage to a creature, where X is the number of creatures you control. Surprise, surprise, it's a land also on the other side. It's Kabria Plateau, and it's just enters tapped and makes white. We literally cannot hype up these MDFCs enough. The ones that are lands. The land MDFCs are completely amazing for Commander, especially for a budget. If you are on a budget, just take all the ones you can find or all the ones you have and just like put them in your deck, especially this one.
Yeah, Kabria Takedown is incredibly good. MDFCs are crazy. It's weird to me. I thought they'd be good, and I thought they'd be good for budget. I just like have 4 in my Lysa deck.
Yeah, there's like 7 of them that transcend the budget restriction thing.
Now, I got to see like the actual factual, like how free roll it is to play like the mythic ones.
Yeah.
The other day, I thought this was great. This goes with all these MDFCs. I drew it in a top deck war, one-on-one top deck war. I drew it. I'm like, now imagine this is a land.
A plains.
Like, it's nothing.
Which one?
Instead, I got 4 angels. Or I got 2 4/4 angels.
Yeah, 2 4/4 angels. The rest of my guys are indestructible.
Yeah, it was completely insane. It's just, if it was a land, I would have probably lost the game.
Yep. It's just sometimes your land is a giant spell. But sometimes your land in this case is a removal spell. Just deal 7 damage to something, or 1 damage to their Lotus Cobra in the early game.
Yeah, exactly. Next, we have a Raven Form, brand new threat from a brand new set.
Brand new answer to threats from brand new sets.
2 and a blue for a sorcery, exile target creature or artifact. Its controller gets a 1/1 bird. That's Fortale, which means you pay 2, exile it face down. Then on a later turn, you pay the Fortale cost, which is blue, and you cast it.
Pretty nifty little answer. Blue does not get to answer artifacts, but now it kind of does. So this might, squeeze into some mono blue decks here and there that want answers to artifacts. But if you're in like blue-white, I could totally see blue-black, where you kind of don't really have a ton of blue-red, maybe not blue-red, but blue-black.
The best feeling that this will ever give you is when you go turn 1 Soul Ring, Fortale this.
Ooh.
So good. You don't waste that Soul Ring mana. That feels so good.
And they might think you have something even more annoying than just a spot removal spell. Like, oh, what is it?
It's a Doom Scar.
Is it Rise of the Dreadmarn? So Raven Form, good spot removal spell, kind of potentially up there with like Reality Shift.
Yeah, we were actually just a random thing here because people have lumped these 2 spells together and mentioned it in the past. We were actually going to put Feed the Swarm as a budget one. It's not budget. It's over $1.
Just to be clear, I'm not going anywhere near that card non-budget. I think budget, you might have a case for it.
Yeah, I agree. So I think it's the same thing with Raven Form too.
Yeah, it might. I think mono blue, Raven Form might sneak in a non-budget.
Okay.
But then outside of that, you're budget only.
Next we have Amphibian Mutineer.
3 and a blue for a 3/3 Salamander Pirate. When it enters the battlefield, you exile a creature you don't control. Its controller gets a 4/3 blue Salamander and has Encore for 6 mana. So when it's in the graveyard, you pay 6, then you get a copy for each opponent, and then you're going to exile 3 more things, assuming you have 3 opponents, and then they have to attack. This is great. There's so many things this card does.
Yeah, it just answers all of the best creatures on the battlefield. Again, if you're able to put it in the graveyard, you can just play it from there. The first time it comes out, you get rid of whatever the biggest threat is. Sure, makes a 4/3 Salamander. Again, we've talked about this with like Beast Within, Generous Gift, which aren't quite budget. Generous Gift, like $1.30. But those creatures don't matter nearly enough. Especially, I've played from like 9 to like 6 in power level, and those creatures almost never matter.
How about you get a 3/3? What are you going to do? Attack me with a 4/3? I'll just trade, and now it's in my graveyard where I want it. So if anything, it's better. I'd rather have it be a 10/3 because it's probably attacking somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. I agree exactly with what BZ's saying here. The card is weirdly just surprising. This is one that I just overlooked when I saw it in spoilers. I'm like, whatever, that card looks, I guess, kind of good. I think Encore is a little better than we had originally anticipated. Check out our short from yesterday.
Yes, or yesterday.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I did it right.
Yes, you did do it right. And the last one is another MDFC. It's Hagra Mulling, 2 black for an instant, destroy a creature, or tapped black source. We don't play murder. Murder is bad. Murder is horrendous. Almost every iteration of murder that's ever been printed is bad in Commander. Just lack of versatility, and costing 3 or more is usually an oopsie for removal spells. This isn't a removal spell. It's a land or a removal spell.
Yeah, this one is completely, utterly great. It's great. Like, the best thing about these MDFCs is like, you mostly just go tap land when I'm going to miss my land drop, or tap land super early in the game. Either one of those is usually the way it goes. Or you just late game, you have tons of lands, and you go, okay, now it's a removal. Now it's a bad removal spell. But guess what? It's not my land is a removal spell. It's not. Oh, this is Hero's Downfall. I guess it's an inefficient answer. But it's like, no, this is an inefficient answer that was going to be a land otherwise.
Yeah, you get to lower your land count and play MDFCs. You don't have to play 35 lands. You can play 32 lands and then 3 spells that are lands when you need them to be.
Yeah, did anyone else see me holding my fake card? I was doing this a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get that it was a card.
Yeah, that's what I was talking. Maybe I was just doing. Obama does. Was it Bill Clinton who did the thumb thing, or Obama? One of them did this.
Mama? Oh, Obama.
Obama. One of those presidents did like a thumb point like this.
I don't know. Maybe we should just end the video.
Yeah, we should just end the video. That is our video. That is our spot move on a budget. There's
budget bombs.
Budget bombs. I almost forgot the name of the spot removal on a budget. Budget bombs. Special shout outs to every single gosh dang one of you patrons. You guys are awesome, and we love you as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You're scrolling by on the screen. Seriously, it's I remember when we first made Patreon, and it was more of just like, we'll see if people want to support
Might
us.
as well make it.
Yeah, but now it's just like there's just like 150 people that are supporting us, and that's insane. There's 150 people that we offer content for free on the internet. And there's 150 people who said that free content's so good, I want to support them financially. And thank every single one of you.
Yes, and we've had more than 150 throughout the whole hit. Those are just the ones that are still here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I appreciate everyone. If you joined at the $2 tier for a month and then left, thank you. That's amazing. Are you kidding me? That's so great.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that too. If you want to support us in other ways, but you don't have extra money for Patreon, you can, and you're planning on buying Magic cards, you can go to tcgplayer.com, use the link in the description, take you to the TCG Player homepage. On that homepage, navigate wherever you want, buy the Funko Pops you want, buy the Magic cards you want, buy the Yu-Gi-Oh cards you want, pretty much anything you want to buy there. If you use the link to get there, that was our link. It'll help support this channel. We get a kickback. They see that. And not only do like we get some money to help us out, they see the clicks. They see how many people are coming through our link. They see the money spent through the link. They know, and they help us more when they see that.
We get better opportunities in the future.
Exactly.
Okay, tidbit about our life, which is whatever story Joe was trying to tell before.
Yeah, with actually in the Discord today, which is awesome, and you should join the Discord because it's really sweet. I was playing a game, and what I was saying was, we were mentioning that a Braid's good in like higher power EDH because the last small creatures. I was playing against a Xenagos deck. There was like Grothamas, and great card. This is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen for Xenagos, and I never thought about it. Quartzwood Crasher. You play Xenagos, Quartzwood Crasher. You 12-12 attack, get a 12-12 next turn, make it a 24-24 attack with that.
Then get a bigger thing.
Get a bigger thing. It was going to run away with the game. I literally had the Toxic Deluge for 12 or lose.
That's pretty sweet. That Quartzwood Crasher and that like Ikoria, they started 5 decks, I swear to you, in like a couple years. There's going to be a Menace deck, a Trample deck, a Lifelink deck, a Flying deck. There's already a Flying deck.
It was really cool. Also, I got... thank God I was playing my life gain deck because I got punched by the Quartzwood Crasher for 12. I also got punched by our Grothama for 20. And then on a subsequent turn, I got punched by a Grothama for 20 more. And then it goes for 7. Yeah, but
he was gaining a lot of life.
I was getting a lot of life. I was playing Liza. I gained a ton of life.
Yeah, pack your exile effects, folks. Those gods are not going away unless you make them go away. Mass Vandal just lowered the stock of every god.
That Xenagos deck was really cool. I had a ton of fun playing. Thanks for the game today. Cookie, Moses, and
Doc Prof,
all patrons. Actually, all 3 of your patrons. I don't just play with patrons, but all 3 of you are patrons.
They were gonna play with me. My webcam wouldn't work, so I have to. Well, I don't have a webcam, so I have to go buy one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we actually do play Commander games with people in the Discord.
Yes,
it's not like, hey, come join this Discord that has the Nitpicking Nerd's name on it. It's like, come hang out with us, literally.
Like not only through text. I don't do that much of the typing out or like in deck help. I'm not doing that kind of stuff because I don't like
the voice chat is what we're in.
The voice chat. I'm in the voice chat all the time, almost always.
Every day.
Almost always the one that's non-patron. Sometimes in the patron one when I'm.
There's patron exclusives. We like to tip. Give a little something to patrons every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we played today. It was fun. That game was so fun today. I love EDH. It's such a fun game. Everyone seems to like my Liza deck. It seems to be the deck that everyone. That nobody has a problem with or thinks this is unfair. It's like a good power level. Everyone's just like, when you lose to it, you lose to it. It just does cool things.
Good. This is good. Everything is good, and we're going to end the video.
Good. Tribe Scout.